Missing in action. It was past blackout when I finally walked into our street holding Johnny's hand. He was tired after his adventure and had spent most of the train journey with his head on my shoulder. Once or twice, from the depths of a dream, he had called his father's name. I could sense that something was wrong as soon as I turned the corner. It was nothing specific, just a sudden chill at the back of my neck. Because of the blackout, I couldn't see anything clearly, but I got a strong impression of a knot of shifting shadows, just a little bit darker than the night itself, milling around outside Colin Gorman's house. I quickened my step, and as I got nearer, I heard a whisper pass through the crowd when they saw Johnny. Then the shadows began to disperse, slinking and sidling away, disappearing like smoke into the air. From somewhere, Mary Critchley lurched forward with a cry and took young Johnny in her arms. I let him go. I could hear her thanking me between sobs, but I couldn't stop walking. The first thing I noticed when I approached Colin's house was that the window was broken, and half the blackout curtain had been ripped away. Next, I saw that the door was slightly ajar. I was worried that Colin might be hurt, but out of courtesy I knocked and called out his name. Nothing. I pushed the door open and walked inside. It was pitch dark. I didn't have a torch with me, and I knew that Colin's light didn't work, but I remembered the matches and the candle on the table. I lit it and held it up before me as I walked forward. I didn't have far to look. If I hadn't had the candle, I might have bumped right into him. First I saw his face, about level with mine. His froth-specked lips had turned blue, and a trickle of dried blood ran from his left nostril. The blackout cloth was knotted around his neck in a makeshift noose, attached to a hook screwed into the lintel over the kitchen door. As I stood back and examined the scene further, I saw that his down-turned toes were about 3 inches from the floor, and there was no sign of an upset chair or stool. Harmless Colin Gorman, friend to the local children, dead. I felt the anger well up in me, along with the guilt. It was my fault. I shouldn't have gone dashing off to Action like that in search of Johnny, or I should at least have taken Colin with me. I knew the danger he was in. I had talked to Jack Blackwell before I left. How could I have been so stupid, so careless as to leave Colin to his fate with only a warning he didn't understand? Maybe Colin had managed to hang himself somehow, without standing on a stool, though I doubted it. But whether or not Jack Blackwell or the rest had actually laid a finger on him, they were all guilty of driving him to it in my book. Besides, if Jack or anyone else from the street had strung Colin up, there would be evidence, fibres, fingerprints, footprints, whatever, and even D.S. bloody Longbottom wouldn't be able to ignore that. I stumbled outside and made my way towards the telephone box on the corner. Not a soul stirred now, but as I went, I heard one door, Jack Blackwell's door, close softly this time, as if he thought that too much noise might wake the dead, and the dead might have a tale or two to tell.